Two tears left eye, Dan. Two tears left eye. Poor, poor Omid Scabies. Well, you know, as the Jamaicans say, you spit in the sky, it will fall in your eye. I mean, he says he was being celebratory about the royals and never wrote anything negative. Is he not the person who managed to, by chicanery, leak the accusation that the king and Catherine were both racists?
I'm going to read you my favourite story of the week, and then I look forward to your reaction. I have to give credit to Richard Eden, the diary editor of the Mail, who has done some very good work on this one. Omid Scobie's new humiliation. Meghan and Harry's cheerleaders company meets a very undignified end. Richard Eden reveals all. Let's dive into this. He's been obliged to watch powerless as his favourite couple have been subjected to a fearful pummeling in print, which included being labelled the most entitled, disingenuous people on the planet by a Montecito neighbour. But as Omid Scobie digests Vanity Fair's profile of Prince Harry, lost, out of his depth and naive, and Meghan, working for whom is alleged to have caused some former staff members to undergo long-term therapy, might he have difficulties of his own to contend with? I ask, Richard Eden says, because Scobie's company, Me has been closed down after being on the receiving end of a compulsory strike-off notice in December. Seemingly indifferent to that warning, Scobie, who recently moved to California so that he's now, it's said, approximately 2 hours' drive from Harry and Meghan, took no action. In consequence, Me which Scobie established in 2016 and of which he has always been the sole director, has been dissolved. This means that it ceases to have a legal owner, with the result that its bank account is frozen and any assets are passed to the Crown. It is a peculiar fate for an author who has had an intense, if changeable, relationship with the royal family. Back in 2020, he described the reporting of the monarchy as celebratory, adding that he'd challenge anyone to find a negative story he'd written about the Windsors. 3 years later, he struck a much less celebratory note, saying it was important to write a full story, without fear or favour, regardless of the consequences. While always a tireless cheerleader for Meghan and by association for Harry, Scobie appears to have taken a splendidly aristocratic attitude to niceties such as paperwork required by Companies House. December's compulsory strike-off notice was the fourth issued against Me. Back in 2022, the company dodged being shut down by filing 3 sets of annual accounts in a single day in April that year. That may, of course, simply be because Scobie can appear ill at ease with numbers, even the number of birthdays he's celebrated. In 2020, he assured an interviewer that he was 33. In fact, he was 38. Now 43, and these are my words, looking weirder and weirder by the day, he declines to comment on the fate of Me. But I can disclose, this is Richard Eden, that the Crown's treasure chest is not about to swell. The company had just £359 in its coffers when Scobie was troubled to file its account. Lady C, what do you think?
Two tears left eye, Dan. Two tears left eye. poor, poor Omid Scabies. Well, you know, as the Jamaicans say, you spit in the sky, it will fall in your eye. I mean, he says he was being celebratory about the royals and never wrote anything negative. Is he not the person who managed to, by chicanery, leak the accusation that the king and Catherine were both racists?
Oh,
I
he
mean,
was. Oh, yes, he was.
and also, you know, since he's moved to California, you notice his access to Megsy Baby and H has pretty much dried up. Maybe it dried up along with his association with Marcus Anderson, because, you know, they've said very interesting things about him and Marcus Anderson over the years. So I leave it at that, because he, of course, denies that the stories about him and Marcus Anderson were true. Uh, but I neither know nor care what people like that do with themselves. I couldn't care less. But I do care what he does with other people. And I think never was failure more richly deserved. And it's wonderful that he's getting his just desserts. And I actually think Richard Eden's done a very good job. And rather witty too, don't you think?
He has. I thought it was very much worth sharing that reportage from Richard Eden today. Indeed, I don't always agree with everything he says or writes, but on Omid Scobie, he has been spot on, as have you. You've got to go and follow Lady Colin Campbell's YouTube channel. Much, much more analysis of what was really going on at the Invictus Games. But Lady C, you know I always love having you on Outspoken, and we will speak very soon. But first, sleep quality declines in people as early as 30. When you were young, your body was producing a good amount of sleep-regulating hormones. As you get older, your body's ability to produce those hormones decline, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. Now, I tried everything to help improve my sleep, right? Like not eating or working out 3 hours before bed, banning blue light devices, loads of unnatural products, but nothing has moved the needle like Evening Being by Verso. After 3 years of perfecting the formula, they created a melatonin-free drink with clinically studied, patented ingredients. It's formulated to calm an active mind, help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and improve deep and REM sleep, all without creating dependencies or causing morning grogginess. Now, I actually look forward to drinking Evening Being every night, not only because it helps me fall asleep faster without having to get up in the middle of the night, but I wake up easier too, and it tastes good. It's become my new nightcap. It's also great if you're vegan or on the keto diet. So click the link in the show description or head on over to evening.ver.so/outspoken and use the coupon code outspoken at checkout to save 15% on your first order. Try Evening Being tonight and wake up feeling refreshed tomorrow. That address, evening.ver.so/outspoken, and use the coupon code outspoken at checkout to save 15%. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.